The day movie star Ethan Johnson announced his marriage and fatherhood, our newsroom exploded. The editor-in-chief specifically assigned me, Sophie, to cover the story. Clenching my teeth, I asked him, "Ethan, have you ever argued with your wife?" His brows furrowed. "Don't you know best? We fight at the headboard but make up at the foot." Sophie, can we reconcile now? Trending topics exploded again. The movie star's announcement crashed social media. Everyone had something to say. Me? That bastard. We agreed no public announcements. Last night I merely complained. And today he drops this nuclear bomb? More like a nightmare. The office echoed with wails as female colleagues mourned their husband's disappearance. I guiltily averted my eyes from their screens. Not my fault he grew legs. Must be some nobody. Luna sneered as she approached my desk. Too ugly to show her face. I kept my head down scrolling comments. Pretending deafness. Jealous hag. Originally, I'd insisted on keeping our marriage secret to protect Ethan's career. Our private happiness needed no publicity. Yet here he was, announcing everything, even releasing our son's backview photo. Sophie, doesn't this look like your boy? A sharp-eyed colleague asked. My spine stiffened. Our 1-year-old sometimes visited the newsroom during lunch breaks. Her? The movie star's baby mama? Before I could respond, Luna snorted derisively, smirking at me. Apples don't fall far from trees. You think she could birth Ethan's child? Her voice sharpened. Come to think of it, none of us have met your husband. Sophie, are you an unwed mother? The office fell silent. Colleagues glanced at me with pity. Luna, slander carries consequences. I warned. I'm stating facts. She retorted, mirroring the toxic fans currently vilifying Ethan's mystery wife. Before I could counter, the editor burst in. You two, emergency assignment. Given the choice, I'd never partner with Luna. But our editor's words were law. Breaking news. Luna. Take Sophie to interview Ethan in Haiching immediately. My stomach dropped. Luna's smirk turned venomous. Sir. Sophie swamped. Let me take someone else instead. I feigned outrage, knowing it would provoke her. Predictably, Luna doubled down. She's too junior anyway. What about someone else? What I do is none of your business. The editor-in-chief shot Luna a glare, and she immediately backed down. With a wave of his hand, he decreed, you two leave right now. Well, strategy failed. With the boss's ironclad order, Sophie reluctantly gathered her materials and dragged equally unwilling me to Coastal City. Truth be told, I knew exactly where Ethan was filming. We'd recently argued when he missed our daughter Emily's first birthday celebration. Unacceptable behavior even if he's upset with me. How could any parent skip their child's milestone? The fluffy clouds outside the airplane window seemed to morph into Ethan's infuriatingly handsome face. I itched to poke holes in that smirking mirage. We arrived mid-morning. Luna's petty power play became obvious when she booked herself a luxury suite while handing me a standard room key. Our team leader certainly knows how to prioritize, I remarked dryly. Junior staff shouldn't be choosy. She sneered before flouncing off. Ethan's call came the moment I entered my room. Sophie, have you arrived? How did he know? Before I could ask, his velvet voice poured through the receiver. I'm sorry about our fight. Please forgive me? Explain properly. Ethan, I demanded, watching traffic snake through downtown. His confession came rapid fire. I leaked our marriage publicly so my agent would stop overscheduling me. This way, I can finally prioritize you and Emily. His tone turned coaxing. Come to my premiere's press conference? Not as reporter this time, standing beside me on the stage. Before I could respond, Luna's fist hammered my door. Move it! We're leaving for the interview. Relieved by the interruption, I hung up after promising Ethan we'd talk later. His last words lingered, standing together publicly. The idea twisted my stomach with equal parts dread and longing. Life is what you make of it. Whether I stand beside him in the spotlight or not doesn't matter as long as we love each other. Right now, the interview was what counted. Luna had been rushing me relentlessly. Ethan was still filming, so the interview got scheduled for evening. These questions are yours to ask. She thrust a paper at me. I glanced at her copy, all professional inquiries about work. Meanwhile, mine contained intensely personal relationship questions. This woman was clearly trying to throw me under the bus. The moment this aired, Ethan's fans would roast me alive. I'm not good at this. I tried handing it back, but Luna put on her most earnest expression. Perfect. This'll be great practice for you. Should have known better than to trust that viper. When I opened my mouth to argue, she'd already turned away to discuss interview logistics with the editor-in-chief. The questions burning in my hand might as well have been live coals. They all revolved around Ethan's recently revealed wife and child. Ask or don't ask. That wasn't even a choice. Ethan arrived as sunset painted the horizon in watercolor hues. Cameras stood ready. Luna and I took our positions. But the moment he walked in, those amber eyes locked onto me with laser focus. Luna shot me a venomous glare behind his back, swiftly inserting herself between us with saccharine professionalism. I gladly retreated. Even through my lowered lashes, I could feel the heat of his gaze. Mr. Johnson, your film's wrapping up soon? MHM. Any upcoming projects? Not yet. Every clipped response made Luna's smile more strained. As a journalist, failing to get your subject to open up was career suicide. She finally gave up, stomping away with poorly concealed frustration. I pasted on my most neutral smile, reciting memorized questions. Mr. Johnson, when did you first meet your wife? His sudden grin made the studio lights catch fire in his eyes. My internal alarms blared. Why was he smiling? Did he think this was funny? You know better than anyone. The velvet warmth in his voice contrasted sharply with his earlier monosyllabic replies. The naked affection in his gaze could have powered a city grid. Luna's foundation was cracking from forced composure. This scheming bastard had set me up. Swallowing the retort, I tried again. You seem very close. Do you ever argue? We fought. Now she won't even look at me. Since when did he become such a chatterbox? And would he stop looking at me like I'd hung the moon? A few more minutes of this and my cover would be blown. Mechanically, I plowed through every invasive question the editorial team had concocted. Just as I sighed in relief, he struck again. Join me for dinner? Of course. The automatic response slipped out before I could bite my tongue. Damn professional reflexes. Before I could refuse, Luna excitedly agreed. I gave her a confused look. Ethan had clearly been addressing me, had her journalist instincts kicked in, making her answer out of habit? Once the words left her mouth, we were stuck with this clingy tag-along. Ethan's assistant had already reserved a table at our hotel, so we had no choice but to bring Luna along for dinner. The entire ride, Luna bubbled with manic energy, chattering nonstop while shamelessly probing about Ethan's wife and son. Her antics grated on my nerves. Ethan stayed silent, letting her shrill voice fill the car. At the table, she aggressively claimed the seat facing him. I rolled my eyes and took a chair nearby, only for Ethan to immediately switch seats, settling directly across from me. His wounded puppy gaze begged for sympathy. I snorted. If his irresistible charm attracted obsessive fans like Luna, that was his mess to clean up. You two seem close, Luna interjected, her eyes darting between us suspiciously. We've only met through interviews. I shrugged, already certain she was an unhinged stalker. Best not to engage. Her skeptical glances kept bouncing between us throughout the meal. The roasted sea bass with rose sauce proved exceptional, my favorite dish. Ethan and I fell into our usual rhythm. Him piling my plate with tender morsels while I focused on eating. Luna's eyes nearly popped out of her head as my bowl overflowed, her face twisting with jealous speculation. Sophie. I mean. Ethan caught himself under my warning glare. How long will you stay after the interview wraps? Depends on assignments. Harbor City's gorgeous. He pressed casually. You should take leave to explore. His hopeful expression softened my resolve. Luna abruptly simpered. The newsroom's swamped. And Sophie's indispensable. No time for vacations. How rich, coming from someone who'd never spared me a compliment unless backhanded. She's right. I deadpanned, watching triumph flash across Luna's face before adding. But Mr. Johnson's recommendation changes things. I'll make time. Ethan's eyes lit up. I'll be your guide. Luna's saccharine mask cracked. Mr. Johnson. I'd love to. Miss Clark. Ethan cut in with glacial politeness. Sophie and I have private matters to discuss. You're excused. She left shooting daggers at me with her eyes. Finally. Peace. I massaged my temples. That loose cannon will blab about us everywhere. Ethan grinned. Perfect. Let her spread the news, saves us an announcement. Ethan remained utterly composed, even cheerfully serving me more food. Sophie. I know I've been swamped lately, but I promise to make it up to you. Didn't you say you loved the ocean? Let's go yachting this weekend. Don't be mad. All right? My irritation had already faded. We'd kept our relationship private initially to protect his career. But since he'd publicly claimed me anyway, why should I hesitate? Still, I shot him a mock stern look. You need to take better care of yourself even when busy. Understand? Absolutely. I know my wife's just looking out for me. His dimpled smile emerged as he poured tea, fussing over me until I couldn't maintain my stern facade. You should rest too. I protested, brushing his hand. Working all day then waiting on me? It's too much. Work will always be there. But chances to pamper my wife? He held a strawberry to my lips. Stubborn as ever. Open up, darling. I shook my head at his antics. The aloof Oscar winner the world knew transformed into this clingy golden retriever when we were alone. After dinner, we strolled back to my modest corporate housing. Ethan frowned at the lobby. They put you in this dump? It's perfectly functional. I shrugged. But he'd already booked the suite next door on his phone. I'll come by tonight, he murmured, ocean blue eyes darkening with anticipation. My cheeks burned. Someone might see. I whispered as the elevator chimed. I'm legally entitled to visit my wife. His fingers brushed mine just as Luna stepped out. We snapped apart. Persistent witch, Ethan muttered under his breath before striding past her. Luna's plastered-on smile froze as he ignored her greeting. I bit back laughter. As if that social climber stood a chance. Sophie! Luna accosted me the moment Ethan disappeared. Who do you think you are? Making Ethan escort you? You're nothing but a problem? I arched an eyebrow. You shameless homewrecker. She vibrated with rage. He's a married man with children. You're disgusting. Oh. I tilted my head. Since when did this serial starfucker develop moral qualms? How touching. Stop smirking. She shrieked. I'll expose you. By all means. I swiped my keycard. Do enlighten Twitter about how Ethan personally ensured his wife's comfort. Hashtag relationship goals. Perhaps? The door clicked shut on her sputtering outrage. Luna Clark hissed like a bristling cat, spewing increasingly vicious insults about how I dared let the award-winning actor drive me home, claiming I wasn't worthy. But since when did my compatibility with Ethan become any of her business? Ethan insisted on escorting me himself. She should take her complaints to him about breaching gentlemanly conduct. Coolly deflecting the blame, I slipped into my room. Even without marital ties, Ethan had demanded to ensure my safe return. What right did Luna have barging in to berate me? If she's so bold, why not confront Ethan directly? It wasn't me who told her to scram during dinner. Did she really think she could bully a pushover? The door clicked shut, muffling her fading curses. Exhausted, I dismissed her ranting as background noise. Let Ethan burn cash reserving adjacent suites, his money. His problem. I just claimed the coziest bed for myself when his agent appeared at my threshold past midnight. Desperation etching his face. Mrs. Johnson. Please. The Oscar-caliber manager sniffled, mastering the art of emotional manipulation. Ethan's having stomach cramps. I'm begging you, he needs proper rest before tomorrow's underwater shoot. Damn. He'd found my Achilles heel. Gathering my things, I stealthily relocated to the neighboring suite as the agent went to fetch him. Before I could unpack, hushed movements beyond the ajar door made me sigh. Stomachache my foot, couldn't he stay put? I hurried to intercept, freezing when Luna's honeyed plea slithered through the corridor. Mr. Johnson, I've got pressing questions about your method acting. May we discuss them in your suite? Peeking out, I found Luna draped in translucent silk negligee, arching her back near Ethan's doorway. The 6'3" actor towered over her, his stormy gaze locking with mine across the hall. I quirked an eyebrow, seems someone's attracting late-night groupies? Mr. Johnson, it's drafty here. Luna's hips swayed suggestively. So much for her earlier lectures about propriety. Hypocrite. I almost wished I'd recorded the spectacle. I'm not cold. Ethan's glacial tone could frost windows. Luna flinched but pressed on, fingers brushing his sleeve. The sudden recoil made her gasp. Luna, maintain professionalism. His thunderous rebuke startled even me. Had she actually tried undressing? From tonight, you're permanently banned from covering my projects. Ethan's jaw clenched, effectively blacklisting her. Sobs echoed as Luna fled, leaving me unmoved, consequences of her own making. Ethan materialized in my doorway moments later, caging me against the wall. Enjoyed the show, little traitor? What's a dutiful spouse to do? I prodded his granite pectorals. Should have rolled out the welcome mat for your admirer? Ugh. I'm a decent man who doesn't do casual flings. He clicked his tongue disapprovingly, capturing my fingers to press feather-light kisses. This is exactly why the legal spouse should handle troublemakers. You're ruthless, those admirers will be heartbroken. Luna kept preaching about Ethan being a married family man. Yet here she was dressed to kill outside his hotel room. The hypocrisy was almost impressive. All I care about is my wife's happiness. Why should I give a damn about some random flirt's tears? This Oscar winner truly had his priorities straight. I almost applauded. Before I could praise his maturity, he sucked my fingertip into his mouth, smoldering gaze locking onto mine. Baby, I've missed you. Electricity shot down my spine. That husky voice could melt glaciers. But your stomach. I tried pushing him away. Hurts. He mumbled against my palm, arms tightening like steel bands around my waist. My heart aches worse when you ignore me. Stop being dramatic. I rolled my eyes, but he guided my hand under his shirt with sudden seriousness. Feel how fast it's beating. Wait, since when did vital organs relocate south? Before I could point this out, he claimed my lips in a searing kiss that left us both breathless. I took 2 days leave in Harbor City. Luna's parting glare could have frozen lava. Sophie, you'll pay for this. Send the bill via USPS. I'll wait. I shrugged off her venom. Certified hater behavior, nothing new. Those stolen days with Ethan passed in blissful isolation before I returned to the newsroom. Our interview went viral instantly. Just as predicted. Fans praised Ethan's gracious handling of personal questions while crucifying me for invasive journalism. The usual keyboard warriors demanded my resignation. I'd braced for public backlash. But the office whispers stung more. Then the photos dropped. Dining together. Him entering my hotel room. The internet exploded. My barren Twitter flooded with death threats and slurs. At the emergency meeting, Luna triumphantly declared she stayed behind to sleep with Mr. Johnson. Technically true, just not how she meant it. Our marriage license says otherwise. I wanted to snap. Instead, I met the editor's disapproving stare silently. While we don't police personal lives, maintain professionalism, he warned. Luna cornered me afterward. How's the taste of defeat, Sophie? Bitter. Like your personality. I shouldered past her. Let the haters rage. My ring finger gleamed with quiet victory. I snapped my head up, glaring daggers at her. Luna, take that post down and apologize right now. Or I'll sue you for defamation. When did I ever admit to doing anything wrong? Sophie, you're so naive. She giggled mockingly, swaying her hips as she walked away. Enjoy the show. I dug my nails into my palms, fantasizing about strangling Luna. Maybe I was naive, but she was pure evil. The online frenzy spiraled out of control. Internet sleuths doxed me, even tracking down my address. The luxury villa Ethan and I bought as our marital home became irrefutable proof of me being a sugar baby in their twisted narratives. Malicious speculation flooded every platform. I could handle the cyberbullying, but their discovery of the villa meant they might target my son. That was unacceptable. When I tried calling Ethan, his team said he was in closed-door filming with zero outside contact. That bastard. With Ethan unreachable, I boosted security at the villa and attempted online clarifications. Every post backfired spectacularly. Even uploading our marriage certificate only sparked jokes about my pathetic Photoshop skills. No one believed a word. His fans formed a Mrs. Movie star support group, claiming to defend their idol's honor against gold diggers. Exhausted, I stopped checking social media but couldn't escape Luna at work. She materialized at my desk first thing Monday, oozing fake concern. Still no public statement from Ethan? How pathetic. Thought you'd bagged yourself a celebrity husband, but now you're just his discarded trash. She clicked her tongue theatrically. I'd rather die than live your shame. I barked a laugh, says the woman who paraded in lingerie outside his hotel suite last month. Shame my popcorn distracted me from recording. The internet would have loved your desperate little performance. Colleagues' heads swiveled like Wimbledon spectators. Sophie, tell us more. Why not? I leaned back, spinning the story with embellished details, claiming I'd followed Luna to witness her humiliating seduction attempt. Luna stood rigid, face blotching crimson. You're lying. Swear on your precious designer handbag collection then. I crossed my arms. Unless you're scared? Her eyes darted. If you're really his wife, swear on your son's life. Gladly. If our marriage is fake, may my greatest treasure be taken from me. I stared her down. Now you. The office buzzed. Do it. Luna. She trembled, mouth opening and closing like a suffocating fish. The truth couldn't be clearer. Cat got your tongue? I smirked at our audience. Now everyone sees who's the real homewrecker. No one answered, but every pair of eyes sparkled with excitement. We were all in the entertainment industry. Gossip ran through our veins like lifeblood. I could practically see my colleagues mentally drafting dozens of dramatic scenarios. Sophie, someone finally spoke up. Is that red certificate you posted real? Photoshopped. I shrugged. Nobody would believe the truth anyway, and I refused to air my messy history with Ethan for public dissection. The newsroom erupted in synchronized oaths, their gazes dripping with pity. Forced to fake a marriage certificate? That's rough. a junior reporter stage whispered. I didn't bother explaining, ignoring Luna's face turning as colorful as a painter's palette. I returned to my desk only to find 17 missed calls from Ethan. Before I could redial, our editor-in-chief burst through the doors like a hurricane. Sophie! Sophie! Present. He trembled like a leaf in a storm. Check Twitter. Now. What now? Did the fan wars escalate? I clicked open the app and froze. The top trending tag screamed, Oscar-winning actor announces marriage to industry insider. I choked on air. Ghosts me for weeks. Then pulls this stunt? Ethan's verified account greeted me with vacation photos from our hiking trip last month, my head conveniently cropped out of most shots. The caption read, "It's Sophie, don't worry babe. Your knight in shining Armani is coming. Since when are you Ethan's wife?" The newsroom descended into chaos. Colleagues clustering around my desk like paparazzi. You've been holding out on us. Survival tactic. I muttered. Lies. Luna slammed her coffee cup down. Brown liquid sloshing onto press releases. She's not even in his league. League requirements aren't your department. A features writer snapped back before I could speak. Unlike some people's failed attempts to slide into DMs. Luna's glare could have melted steel. This isn't over. Sophie. Threatening my wife now? The sudden baritone froze the room. Ethan strode through the parting crowd like some tragic romance novel hero. Eyes suspiciously red-rimmed. Before I could react, he engulfed me in a hug that smelled suspiciously of Visine drops. You've suffered so much, he murmured into my hair. I peeked over his shoulder at 40 silently squealing journalists. Behave, I warned through gritted teeth, tugging him aside. These vultures will have us trending by lunch. Relax. We're family here. The entertainment editor winked, already mentally drafting her Pulitzer-worthy scoop. Ethan's gaze turned arctic as it landed on Luna. Cybercrimes units handling the defamation case. Libel carries prison time these days. Why yes. Absolutely. The editor-in-chief bobbed his head like a dashboard ornament. Zero tolerance for misinformation. Luna's foundation couldn't mask her pallor. Funny how rumors trace back to their sources. Ethan continued conversationally, inspecting his Rolex. The room's collective breath hitched as 40 heads swiveled toward Luna's shrinking form. What? She squeaked. Why is everyone looking at me? I didn't do it. Sophie. You're just jealous and conspired with Ethan to frame me. The woman ran out of arguments and started making wild accusations against me. Amused. I drawled. Luna. Ethan happens to be my husband. Exactly which part of your miserable existence should I envy? Do you honestly think you're worthy of my jealousy? And since when does the Oscar winner take orders from the likes of you? Did you even bother thinking before speaking? Luna fell silent, glaring at me with venomous eyes until Ethan protectively stepped between us. What's your problem? He demanded coldly. She said our marriage certificate circulating online was photoshopped. Luna hissed, weaponizing my earlier explanation. Her lips twisted into a deranged smile. Ethan, Sophie isn't really your wife. What did she promise you to keep up this charade? Just the privileges of being her lawful husband and father to our brilliant son. Ethan replied, his stern expression softening noticeably at the mention of our family. I stifled a laugh at his lack of modesty. Enough. The editor-in-chief finally intervened. Apologize now or we're calling the police. No need, Ethan said icily. I've already notified authorities. The editor forced an obsequious smile. Of course. But if she shows genuine remorse. Remorse? Ethan's arm tightened around me. She tried attacking my wife in front of me. Imagine what she'd do otherwise. This goes through proper legal channels. Leaning into his embrace, I savored the warmth of being fiercely protected. I'm sorry. Please. Luna's hysterical sobs echoed through the room, mascara streaking down her face. Don't ruin my life. I'll do anything. Too late. Ethan remained unmoved, though I gently squeezed his hand in silent support. Please, Sophie. She turned to me desperately. I'll change. Luna. I said coldly. Your sorry doesn't undo the damage. Should murderers walk free with an apology? As she collapsed weeping, Ethan addressed the editor. Your publication needs serious reforms. How does employing such trash reflect on your leadership? The editor stammered uselessly under Ethan's piercing gaze. My husband pressed a kiss to my temple, satisfied with how I handled it. Mrs. Johnson? Perfectly. I smiled, watching security drag the sobbing woman away. Some mistakes couldn't be forgiven, especially when they threatened my family. Let's go home. Honey. Ethan simply let the matter drop, taking my hand as we left the press office. The sunlight outside felt cleansing, and I finally relaxed. The storm had passed, leaving peace in its wake. Luna was now behind bars, and the newspaper had swiftly terminated her employment to distance themselves. Reading messages from former colleagues, I couldn't help but sigh. Luna had been such a commanding team leader. But now that the tides turned, everyone scrambled to save themselves. She'd face consequences for her vicious actions. Even Ethan's most obsessive fans did an about-face, flooding my Twitter with apologies overnight. Suddenly the air cleared, and I found myself dubbed Mrs. Johnson, though fans had initially resisted our relationship announcement. Their collective guilt over wronging me silenced further protests. I hadn't wanted to blame them anyway, this truce suited me fine. The movie premiere arrived swiftly. Under dazzling spotlights, the man I loved stood radiant, microphone in hand as his warm gaze found me in the audience. Here, I want to thank my wife for her unwavering support. As everyone knows, Hollywood has its unspoken rules, keeping marriages secret being one. She sacrificed her own recognition for my career, enduring slander without retaliation, even urging me to avoid conflict. Her compassion has been my guiding light. His voice thickened with emotion. Thank you for building our home, for handling life's chaos while I worked. You've given me everything. Tears glimmered in his eyes as mine burned. This fool, why make such a spectacle of tenderness before millions? Always making me cry. So, sweetheart, I love you. His raspy declaration hung in the air, moving me deeply until whispered complaints from behind sparked laughter. Mr. Johnson plays dirty. Secret marriage wasn't enough, now he's flaunting love at his premiere? Let's go marry his superfans. Show him what's what. Giggling youths aside, I couldn't stop smiling at my luminous husband on stage. Maybe going public wasn't so terrifying after all. Bring on the future. Post-announcement Ethan shed all restraint. He draped himself over me at events, insisted I accompany him to film sets endlessly. Our editor-in-chief, scenting exclusive access, permanently assigned me to cover his projects. Get me fresh Johnson content, he ordered. Everyone's obsessed with his married life now. Baffling. Since when did public curiosity extend to domestic routines? Clearly this was Ethan's orchestration. When he bolted for our hotel after filming one day, I confronted him. Did you strong-arm the editor into assigning me here? Fess up. Of course not. He approached me. Ethan faltered mid-sentence, pulling me into an embrace. Let's discuss expanding our family instead. Darling. Maybe a little sibling for our boy? I pressed a hand over his mouth. Ethan. Explain properly. He grinned unrepentantly. Your editor suggested maximizing our couple time while handling my new project publicity. Seemed efficient, you get career material. I get my wife nearby. Win-win. His lips brushed my ear, though adding another baby would perfect things. Before I could react, Ethan had already pinned me down. 3 months later, Ethan couldn't wait to make the official announcement about expecting another child, causing another sensation in Hollywood circles. Honey. After this film wraps, I'm coming home to take full-time care of you. True to his word, Ethan returned immediately after shooting concluded to stay with me and our son. The studio head even granted me an extended leave. I asked our son cautiously, "Would you like having a baby brother or sister?" He nodded vigorously, his cheek pressed against my growing belly. "Of course. I'll love them no matter what." Turning to his father with mock seriousness, he added, "Daddy better treat mommy nice. And me too. And the new baby." "Absolutely. This time I'm going all in as a stay-at-home dad," Ethan promised. Squeezing my hand, his thumb brushed over my wedding band as he murmured, "Thank you for this, sweetheart." I smiled up at him, the morning sunlight catching the silver strands in his blonde hair. "You're the one who'll need the thanks later, Ethan." With his arms around us both, even the looming challenges of newborn nights felt manageable. The scent of his citrus cologne mixed with our son's strawberry shampoo created an unexpected sense of peace. Thank you all for the company. Your support fuels my passion for sharing these sweet romance stories. See you next time.